The Haunting of Blackwood House. It had stood there for over a century, a sprawling Victorian mansion at the end of Wisteria Lane, its once majestic spires now weathered by time and neglect, looming like a ghost over the neighborhood. The locals called it Blackwood House, a name spoken in hushed tones, accompanied by furtive glances as if uttering it aloud might summon the horrors within. Stories of the house were as old as the town itself. Tales of shadowy figures pacing behind its cracked windows, of inexplicable screams that rent the stillness of the night, and of brave or foolhardy souls who dared enter its threshold only to vanish without a trace. Maggie Turner, a pragmatic journalist with a penchant for debunking the supernatural, found these tales fascinating but entirely implausible. Eager to carve her name into the annals of investigative journalism, she saw Blackwood House as an opportunity to dismantle a century of myth and superstition. When her editor suggested she explore the house for a Halloween special, she embraced the challenge with enthusiasm, armed with her trusty flashlight, a voice recorder, and an unshakable belief in the power of logic. As she pushed open the rusted iron gate, its grating protest reverberating like a warning, Maggie felt a chill that had nothing to do with the autumn air. The pathway to the house was a treacherous gauntlet of overgrown weeds and crumbling stone, the house itself a hulking shadow against the twilight, its facade a testament to years of neglect. The front door, a massive slab of oak adorned with tarnished brass fittings, groaned ominously as she forced it open, revealing an interior trapped in a macabre tableau of another era. Undeterred, Maggie began her exploration, her footsteps an unwelcome intrusion on the oppressive silence. The first few rooms she entered were ordinary in their eeriness, a parlor with faded floral wallpaper peeling like old skin, a dining room where a long table stood as if awaiting a ghostly feast, and a study where rows of ancient tomes lined the shelves, their titles obscured by time. Yet it was in the parlor that she discovered an artifact that would change the trajectory of her investigation, a journal, its cracked leather cover bearing the name Eleanor Blackwood in delicate, fading script. With trembling hands, Maggie opened the journal, her curiosity piqued by the promise of a first-hand account of life within these walls. The entries began innocuously enough, detailing Eleanor's daily routines, her love of the gardens that once flourished outside, and her growing sense of isolation in the cavernous house. But as Maggie read on, the tone darkened. Eleanor spoke of strange occurrences, disembodied whispers, fleeting shadows in the mirrors, and an oppressive presence that she named the Shadow Man. Maggie barely had time to process the chilling words when a sudden crash from upstairs shattered the silence, the sound ricocheting through the house like a gunshot. Her heart pounding, she pocketed the journal and ascended the grand staircase, the temperature dropping with each step until her breath hung in the air like a specter. At the top, a long corridor stretched before her, its walls lined with doors, some ajar, others tightly shut. A faint light spilled from one room, drawing her like a moth to a flame. She approached cautiously, her flashlight flickering ominously as if protesting the intrusion. The room was a nursery, preserved as though awaiting the return of a child long gone. A rocking chair swayed with an unnerving rhythm, its creaking an unholy metronome. As Maggie stepped closer, the air thickened, pressing down on her chest like an invisible weight. Her flashlight gave one final desperate flicker before plunging her into darkness. In the suffocating void, she heard it, a low, guttural whisper, a sound that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. "Leave," it commanded, a sinister growl that sent ice racing through her veins. Maggie stumbled backward, her hands searching for the door, but it slammed shut with a deafening bang, trapping her inside. Panic set in as she banged on the door, her shouts swallowed by the malevolent silence. The whisper came again, closer this time, its tone laced with malicious glee. "You shouldn't be here." Turning, Maggie saw it. A figure materializing in the dim glow of moonlight filtering through the window. It was impossibly tall and skeletal, its hollow eyes like black holes that threatened to consume her. The Shadow Man. He moved with unnatural speed, closing the distance in an instant, his icy fingers encircling her wrist like a shackle. The next morning, the townsfolk discovered Maggie's car abandoned at the gate, the driver's door ajar, as if she had fled in haste. Inside the house, all was silent. The journal lay open on the parlor table, its latest entry scrawled in a hand frantic and unfamiliar. "He has her now, just like he had me." Maggie Turner was never seen again, and Blackwood House remains an enigma, its doors eternally open, a silent invitation to those brave or foolish enough to enter, its secrets waiting to claim their next victim. Join the conversation. Your support drives us. We hope you enjoyed this video, but here's a question. Why haven't you subscribed to our channel yet? Your one like and subscribe give us the motivation to create even more engaging videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts. Head to the comment section below and tell us, which part of the story gave you chills or made your heart race the most? Your feedback means the world to us. Thank you for your incredible support.